Isn't it utterly ridiculous that we live in a day and age where cheating is encouraged by society? Where a tournament player can gain an unfair physical advantage over an opponent. I'm not merely talking about conventional ways of cheating like taking steroids while training for a UFC MMA match. I'm talking about putting on a skirt and pretending to be a woman in order to win the women's sector or win a women's sector of a certain sporting competition. Recently, Lucy Smith was crowned the Women's Pro Series 7 champion. The problem? Lucy Smith is a man. In pool, attributes like upper body strength, arm reach and hand-to-eye coordination are key to being a good player, all of which are inherently linked to your biological sex. Take Lynn Pinches, who we'll get into depth in just a moment. She once told me that her 10-year-old son could easily beat her at pool. In many cases, even though a skilled female player might outmatch an inexperienced male, if that man put in just a little bit of training, he could surpass her in no time. We saw a similar experience when Serena Williams, then the world's #1 in women's tennis, lost to Carson Brash, who was ranked 203rd in the men's division at the time. Another instance occurred when the US's official women's national soccer team was defeated 5-2 by a team of 15-year-old boys. This isn't the first time Ultimate Pool, the organisation behind the competition, has faced major controversy. Before we dive into the infamous walkout by pool player Lynn Pinches, let's look at another incident from 2022. That year, Harriet Haynes, another male pool player competing in the women's division, faced off against Lucy Smith, beating him in a 6-red shootout. You heard that correctly. Two men competing against each other in a tournament designed for solely women. This is the direction that feminism has taken. What began as a movement for gender equality soon evolved into men-hating female supremacy, and now it's reached a point where feminists are okay with men fictitiously claiming they are women, granting them access to female-only spaces and protections. This includes women's-only changing rooms, like those at the University of East Anglia's sports park, female-only prisons such as the Esna Mahan Correctional Facility in New Jersey, domestic violence shelters just for women, and increasingly women's sporting competitions. For instance, William Thomas, now known as Leah Thomas, competed in the NCAA Division 1 National Championship for women. Before 2023, Ultimate Pool had a policy preventing men who identified as women from competing in the female divisions, a policy designed to protect female athletes and maintain the integrity of the competition. However, for some unknown and bizarre reason, they reversed this decision in 2023, sparking widespread controversy. One notable incident involved respected pool player Lynn Pinches, who was forced to compete against Harriet Haynes. After shaking hands with her opponent, Lynn made her stance clear by putting on her handbag and walking away from the competition.
You can win the lag. Yes, man.
When asked why she chose to walk away, Lynn explained, "I don't care about the money or the title or the trophy. I care about fairness. If they hadn't done that U-turn, we wouldn't be here now. We were also elated when they originally said they were going to have strict categories for biological females." Reflecting on the incident, she added, "Walking out was the toughest thing I've ever had to do in the game in my life. I have played 30 years and have never ever conceded so much as a frame, never mind a match. This was only my 4th final ever, but the trophy or money meant nothing to me without fairness. And that's what I said to the tournament director afterwards." As a result of her courageous decision, Lynn admitted that she didn't eat or sleep properly for 2 days afterwards, feeling completely overwhelmed by a sense of devastation. While the English Pool Association requires transgender athletes to take hormone blockers, testosterone or estrogen when competing against the opposite sex, though this does little to address inherent biological differences in reach and size, Ultimate Pool is not bound by these guidelines. However, Ultimate Pool's own rules state that athletes must maintain a total testosterone level below 10 nmol/L, which is monitored through regular testing. As I mentioned earlier, reducing testosterone levels in a male does not shorten arm reach or decrease overall body size. Several other factors contribute to the inherent unfairness of the competition, such as the prior exposure to higher testosterone levels, which can result in increased muscle mass, greater strength, higher bone density, and advantageous limb proportions. The duration of testosterone suppression also plays a crucial role. Research suggests that it can take several years of hormone therapy to significantly reduce the physical advantages gained from male puberty. Ultimate Pool's transgender policy states that an athlete must demonstrate that his total testosterone level in serum has been below 10 nmol for at least 12 months prior to his first competition. However, this time requirement can be extended on a confidential case-by-case basis. Although this protection is in place, 12 months at a minimum is still nowhere near enough time to combat the physical advantages of testosterone gained by decades of natural hormone production alongside male puberty. And still, it does nothing to address longer arm reach and overall size advantages in men. This year at the Paralympic Games, Valentina Petrillo from Italy will be the first male to compete in the female division as a sprinter. Maybe we should take tips from World Athletics, who in March 2023 banned men from competing in the female categories at international events. This policy extends to trans women who have undergone hormone blockers or surgeries. As the governing body's president, Lord Coe, stated, no transgender athlete who has gone through male puberty will be permitted to compete in the female world ranking competitions. It's simply ridiculous that we live in an age where society encourages and permits competitors to gain unfair advantages over their opponents. Being a man with male testosterone, muscle mass, bone density and other variables constitutes an unfair advantage in sports. If we are willing to accept this, then why shouldn't we allow athletes to use steroids as well? It's a slippery slope fallacy. But thank you very much for watching. It's James Harvey from Vox Populi. Please click the subscribe button down below and I'll speak to you all in the next video. Cheers.